Hey Nathan, I have a confession to make. I have been watching the Housewives reality show.
Why?
Because my wife watches it, and you start watching for 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, there's a cat fight, and you're hooked in. And this vehicle, Nathan, watch out, coming down. Range Rover Sport HSE is the car that all of them seem to drive.
What a waste.
So, dude, I don't think they ever take it off-road.
Well, that's what we got to do. We got to take it off-road.
We got to take it off-road because you aspiring housewives, if you ever want to go into the deep Colorado woods, you have to know that this car can do it. Coming up next
on the Fast Lane Car.
Hey Nathan, man, I thought I heard you hit something. I think this has terrain management and air suspension, and you're about to get into the, well, on video it doesn't look that dramatic, but it's pretty dramatic. So, jack her up, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring her up to her tippy toes, man.
Up we go.
Oh, I hear it going. Pretty cool. It's pretty quick.
Not bad.
Not bad. All right. I bet you're up to what, 9-10 inches?
Oh, I'd say.
I'm talking about the air suspension.
Oh, that. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
All right, take it on up, man. Let's see how the Range Rover does. You know, Nathan, I think I know why housewives wouldn't come out here.
Why?
I'm waiting for that cannon to go off.
Yeah, I think someone actually brought a black powder cannon and they're shooting it off somewhere. Typical Colorado.
Yeah, I'm not sure housewives and massive guns go together, even though I'm sure that's a killer website. So what's under the hood, man? Let me take a peek at this. It looks like a ruddy big V8.
5-liter V8 puts out 375 horsepower, 375 pound-feet of torque, and it's hooked up to a 6-speed automatic transmission.
And perhaps more importantly for our use, I just got done reviewing the Range Rover, and this has a very similar terrain management system. You set the little switch to whatever you are. We are in the forest. It jacks up the car and basically allocates power to the wheels that needs it. Monitors a bunch of parameters. So Nathan, do you think that this Range Rover Sport can make it to the top of the trail, which very few new crossovers can do?
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. We're gonna take it to the top and we're gonna do a little commentary and see how it does when it gets a little bit steeper and deeper. Now that is old school, Nathan.
That dude is nuts. He comes here all the time.
And you know what? I bet you he's got the cannon in the back of that thing.
He's probably the one hoisting the black powder cannon. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Maniac.
I believe that is the right setting. Looks like forest. No, that's a cactus. I think that is the right setting. Forest and dirt. We are ready to rock. All right, Nathan, I am driving this time.
Enjoy. It's easy in this thing.
And you know why? I have a love-hate relationship with this car. I mean, I love the look of the thing. I love the interior. I love the command driving position. But the second I get in it, I realize that for such a big frickin' SUV, I don't fit. I mean, my head hits the ceiling. I feel like my seat is all the way back.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just you know, I can see a dainty housewife being very comfortable in here. For me, it's just not big enough. It's crazy.
You gotta get off this whole housewife kick.
I know. I think I watched a marathon last night. So
Are you kidding me?
No, man, it's on my brain.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I guess you guys are wondering what it's like off-road, and like any good and proper off-road vehicle, it's effortless, really. It's got tons of ground clearance. It has tons of torque, which is what you want, and the air suspension gives it a very controlled and firm but solid ride. You know, it seems happy out here, and that's pretty amazing considering, once again, that it has 20-inch wheels, which are about as far from the off-road spec of a tire and wheel combo that you'd really want.
Yeah, and you know, I've noticed that once you elevate, the approach and departure angles are much better. This thing can go over anything.
Yeah, you know, it's really cool that Land Rover has still kept the ability for this to go into some wild terrain. You know, they invented this kind of posh crossover SUV segment with the original Range Rover, then this, and now of course the Evoque, and the LR4. All right, so as much as I have a love-hate relationship with this Range Rover, I think Nathan has a love relationship, because as I recall, your last car was indeed a Land Rover, wasn't it, Nathan?
Yeah, I loved it too. It was a Land Rover Discovery from 1996, and it had a manual transmission. They're pretty hard to find in the States. I loved it. It leaked a lot. I could never sort it. I replaced almost every gasket, and I still had problems. But you know what? Off-road, that thing was amazing, and had a third row seat so I could take the little ones with. Oh, what a great fishing rig. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, and this is just as awesome and a lot more expensive.
Yeah, well, you know what? Mine had the old V8, you know, which was, well, it wasn't much. This new engine is phenomenal. 375 horsepower from a 5-liter. It's pretty damn good. It sounds great, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
All right, and you know, the bottom line is, obviously, you know, older technology is not as good as newer technology and blah, 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 but mine handled like crap on the street, and it handled great off-road. So they're able to kind of balance that out.
Yeah, and you know, this also comes, if you want it, with a supercharged engine.
Yeah.
And it's already thirsty, and the supercharger, of course, makes it thirstier. And I think that this one with the 375 horsepower 5-liter is very fast. I don't think you actually need a supercharged version of this, unless, of course, you're into, you know, showing off your bigger, you know what.
Well, that engine would be, that's me.
So you go for the supercharged.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? More power, more torque? Yeah. And up at high altitude, yeah, there's no major degradation in power.
Yeah, but there's so much power that I don't think you'd ever notice it, even if there was.
Oh, yeah, no, more power is better.
Nathan, I mean, check out this articulation, and that is independent rear suspension. There is no solid axle on this beast.
Yeah, you know, so far, it's been no problem. It may look a little bit difficult for the rear end to take, but with this type of suspension, it's a breeze.
So, Nathan, on the TFL scale, this is the off-road scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it. What do you give it?
I give it a lease it, and I give it a lease it because, frankly speaking, I want the supercharged engine.
And I'm going to give it a lease it too. I want to spend some more time, hint, hint, in this vehicle to get up to that buy it level. Hey guys, do you know that we now have put up 365 videos, one every day this past year?
We have, and you know what? Every once in a while we need a little break, and in this particular case, spring break's coming up, so we're going to make a slight change for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're going to take 2 weeks off. Now, we're going to put up videos, don't worry, it just won't be every day. We've got some really fun things planned, but not every day because we need to recharge our batteries. And Nathan needs to go plane Moab with Jeeps.
That's right, and while I'm out there in the middle of the desert having a good time, nobody will be able to upload from out there. And Roman's going somewhere far, far away.
Yes, I'm going to the home of this vehicle, and it's not what you're thinking. What is it, Nathan?
It's India.
So, as always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Saying thank you for watching, and we'll be back with regular scheduled programming in 2 weeks.
Ciao.
See you next time. Bye. Nathan, I had this feeling that we should be reviewing guns up here and not cars.
I have a feeling we should be wearing Kevlar.
I agree, man. Let's get the hell out of here.
It's time to go.
All right, Nathan, your turn. You're at home. A big smile on your face. I think you love this car.
There is a love-hate here as well. I've had a few of these, the Sport, and I've had the supercharged one. And you know what? The one problem with it is that it's a very inefficient vehicle when it comes to gas, which doesn't matter to rich people, but I'm not. And as such, I've put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in these things to keep them going. I'm really glad that Rover is adopting more aluminum, more lightweight alloys and what have you, because if this thing were, 700-800 pounds lighter, oh my God, it would be the near ideal vehicle. But I still have the same problem that Roman does. My headroom, it's okay right now, but when I get out of the vehicle, I slap my head against this thing all the time. For some reason, despite its size, it's actually kind of tight inside.
Yeah, it's got that quintessential American feature where it's smaller on the inside than on the outside. And, you know, the gorilla in the room, of course, Nathan, is reliability, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, guys, we get these vehicles a week. We don't have them for a year. So it would be unfair and just wrong for us to talk about that because obviously we don't have them long enough to evaluate that.
You're absolutely right. And under the circumstances, look, I know that they're doing better with certain, magazines and what have you, but the reality is that even if we did have it for a year, that still wouldn't be enough time with just one vehicle to ascertain whether or not it's completely reliable.
So, if you're listening, Land Rover, we would love to get a long-term, any Rover.
Yeah,
hey, range, land, sea, if there's such a thing, to evaluate for a year so that we could, give our honest opinions, which is what we pride ourselves on.
Absolutely.